side of COVID recovery, what achievement are you most proud of from your time in office?
Wow. You know, look, I'm proud of the fact we were the first state to do a stay-at-home order. I'm proud of the fact we led with science. We're open to argument, interested in evidence. We're not ideological. I'm proud of the fact we announced today that all healthcare workers were mandating vaccines, and we're leaning in. And we're the first state to do the same with masking in our schools to get our kids safely back in-person instruction. You know what I'm proud of most is that this state continues to leap forward, meaning this state, we're never satisfied. We believe in every way, shape, or form where America's coming attraction, that the future happens here first. And I'm so proud to have incredible, here's the long-winded point, the answer. I'm so proud of the partnership with remarkable legislative leaders in the Senate, in the Assembly, that don't just get it, they get it done. They want to solve big problems. You know, we created a brand new grade this year, TK, for all. We did it in 1 year. We're putting $2 billion up to give every child a college savings account that enters into kindergarten. I mean, no one's done this. We almost tripled the earned income tax credit. We have this $12 billion plan on homelessness, $3 billion just for mental health. I mean, we've been talking about that for years. We're adding 200,000 childcare slots. You saw what happened today, the Biden administration. What we're doing in the environment, I know we have more work. I know we have more work to do, particularly environmental justice. I know that. But the work we are doing is extraordinary. And I say all that to make this point. I can't identify one thing over another because I'm just really proud of the direction we're going. And that's what's at stake. All this momentum, all this incredible, we're only, this is 30th month. It's been, this last 18 months been tough on all of us. We are just getting started. And so you ain't seen nothing yet in terms of California continuing to lead the nation and showing Democrats all across the country that their values can be put into action. So we're not asserting things, we're proving that progressive policies work, change lives, and are sustainable.
Thank you for walking us through that. I like the way you phrased that, that we are proud of our direction. All right, we have time for just one more question, I think. And you've already touched on this a little bit, but could you talk just a little bit more about what it would mean really if a Republican becomes the next governor of California, and what can all of these lovely people on the call do to make sure that that doesn't happen?
We got to double down on everything we're doing. I mean, I think everybody knows the answer to that question. I always say the future is not just something to experience, it's something to manifest. It's our decisions. We've got to make the decision so that we can shape the future that all of us want to advance. And so all the work we have inside of us, the decisions we'll make between now and election day, which again, election day is today in one county and is going to be in almost all counties in a couple of weeks. We've got to get people to vote. At the end of the day, this is all about turnout. I can't impress upon you more. These polls, they're really turnout polls. If everybody voted and we continue to work hard, take nothing for granted, and are humble about the responsibility to do more and better and address all of these vaccine issues, and we always must be mindful of the work we have to do and own that, we'd win. But this is, as the congressman said, this is a special election. And this is about turnout. They're turning out. And they may turn out in record numbers, but there are more of us, meaning more that believe like us, including many Republicans that just reject Trump and Trumpism. Not as many as there used to be, but there's still some. And we have just got to get to those folks, continue the texting, continue to do all the hard work. But please do not underestimate the damage a governor can do. It could unwind all these executive orders. They could take us over a COVID cliff. With all due respect, and between all of us, I don't like taking shots at other governors. I don't want to go off the cliff that DeSantis is going in this sort of ideological, wedded to a presidential. I mean, it's It's not who we are. That's who these guys are. That's their model. And by the way, don't take my word for it. Read up on these folks. More offshore drilling? Are you kidding me? Attacking women's right to choose in California? Unwinding all the work we're doing on healthcare, immigration policy, and I mean the backs of dreamers, DACA recipients, having a humane and compassionate approach to border policy, allow them to weaponize that. I mentioned judges. I hope we're woke up to what Trump did in terms of all these ideological, unqualified, young, conservative judges. I appoint a lot of judges. Trust me, the impact just that alone will have. Appointments across the spectrum, vetoes of budget bills, the vandalizing across the spectrum of things that, frankly, in the past, we all take for granted, can be profound. You see the seat of office in the state weaponized for the midterm elections. So that McCarthy's in power, not Pelosi. The impact that would have on the U.S. Senate race. Impact that would have to Joe Biden's agenda.
I don't know when.
It was profound. Consequences across the country, the reverberations. I don't want to overstate this, but I don't think I am. I really don't think I am. In some ways, I may be understating the consequences, so forgive me for being redundant. So, look, I'll close on this if that was the last question, and forgive me for being so long-winded. All these things are on the ballot, not just the name of the current occupant, current governor, the ones talking right now. All these things are on the ballot.
Outside.
It's all about turnout,
or down
which
the
means
drain,
it's all about
so
each and every one.
smell any fish.
You guys have crushed it. You've done an incredible job so far. It's a challenging environment with COVID. Challenging environment because a lot of folks are just exhausted. But we've got a lot of work to do in the next 7 weeks. We've got an incredible team, remarkable group of people that joined us here tonight. What a remarkable volunteer corps. There ain't anything like this on the other side. We're going to get this thing done. Nothing for granted, leaving it all out on the field. It's not a top-down campaign. It really is bottom-up, peer-to-peer, in the trenches, texting, phone calls, knocking on doors, and doing that hard work that only Democrats know how to do. We are organizers at our core, and I am confident with all the remarkable capacity each and every one of you have that will defeat this Republican recall on September 14th.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Governor Newsom, for joining us. We really appreciate you taking out the time from your busy day to give us some context and thank our volunteer team who has been chugging along for all these months.
Just incredible respect. You guys, truly, thank you. Honored. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon, not just on Zoom, in person. Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, everyone. Thank you again to Governor Newsom and Representative Jimmy Gomez for joining us. I hope that everyone is feeling pumped up and excited to keep going on our efforts. And if you haven't already joined us as a volunteer, we will go over the steps you need to get started in just a second. Let's talk about what you need to get started volunteering. If you are not already in our volunteer Slack, that is where you need to be to get going. The link to get into Slack is on the screen, and some of our friends in the chat should be posting it there. Slack is our home base for everything. It is where you can find our texting team operation, as well as some phones, and we are hoping to get a social media team up and going soon. When you join, you should look for a channel called Volunteer Welcome, and there you will find all the instructions that you need to get started on whatever team interests you. We have broken our texting record every night this week, and we really want to have tonight be a huge night of texts. So we are going to launch a poll right now, so you all can let us know how you will be helping to stop the recall this week. So will any of you be joining us for texting tonight? And if you can't join us tonight, hopefully you can let us know that you will be joining us sometime this week. And hopefully some of us can jump on the phones tonight. If not, we want to keep the calls going for the rest of this week and through when ballots drop, like we talked about earlier. And we want everyone to also show your support on social media. We are going to share a list of names of people who say on this poll right now that they can jump in this week and volunteer with the governor after the call. So everyone go ahead and submit to make sure that you're on that list. And the next thing on the screen is this hashtag Stop the Republican Recall. Use that on social media to show the governor that we have his back and we are going to keep volunteering and keep contacting voters to ensure that we get the turnout that we need to win this thing. I see some things in the chat of our daily record is about 400,000 texts. I hope that we can send thousands more tonight. Okay, can we go to the next slide? All right, so remember, right now, we really need your help IDing voters by making calls and texts. And soon we are going to move to educating people about how to complete those vote by mail ballots that we talked about. And each and every single day up until the election, we need to stay full force, contacting voters, talking with people about how important it is that they get their ballot in and vote no on the recall. The most important thing we need to do right now is keep Governor Newsom in office and keep our enthusiasm up and really follow through. This goes for Dem voters, but also volunteers like us and everyone that we know who lives in California. Once again, if you're on social media, before you leave the call, be sure to use the hashtag Stop the Republican Recall and let Governor Newsom that you know that you were just on the call with us and that you're excited to get to work volunteering to keep him in office. And so that is all we have for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Really appreciate seeing so many excited people here ready to get going and stop the recall.